everyone, it's your girl Robin
and Saeed,
and we are back with another restaurant review from the Virgin Voyages Resilient Lady. We are on our 7-day Southern Caribbean cruise that originated in San Juan. And today, child, we're going to talk about how RazzleDazzle made me sick. Yes, you heard me. RazzleDazzle made me sick. You got to stick around to the end to find out why. So, RazzleDazzle tonight. This was our fifth dinner.
Fifth
dinner.
Right.
Well, fifth dinner on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're winding down on restaurants. We only have one more left.
Yep. Gun Bay.
Oh, makes me sad. That means that our cruise is almost over. All right. So let me preface this about RazzleDazzle. So on the list of restaurants, RazzleDazzle we were kind of like, we could take it or leave it. It wasn't on our favorite. The reviews that we saw online
50-50,
were 50-50. So we were like, if we get to RazzleDazzle, okay. If we don't, somebody kept on trying to remove RazzleDazzle to add pink agave again, but another person on this trip was like, no, let's try every restaurant. So we did. So
here we are.
Here we are. We went. So start us out just telling us about like the vibe of RazzleDazzle. How was it? Like, what was the?
Yeah, it was cool. So RazzleDazzle, if you don't know, is actually named from what they say is of an old British ship. So the whole decor,
that makes sense.
Is kind of ode to that. So it's black and white is kind of the main thing. So if you Googled RazzleDazzle Virgin, you'll see kind of the color schemes and things. But it definitely kind of gives kind of an old ship / maybe even diner kind of vibe.
I definitely feel like a diner, but with a little razzle, like it was in a little dazzle.
There you go.
It was like red lights, and it wasn't just like a regular.
Now, mind you, RazzleDazzle does do brunch and dinner, just as FYI. What we're doing tonight is dinner. So RazzleDazzle at night.
Yeah, we didn't make the brunch. We had it scheduled one day, but we ended up sleeping in.
Yep. So, but it had music playing. So it was somewhat lively. I mean, I wouldn't say it was party atmosphere, but definitely was lively.
And I'll say it was more of a casual atmosphere.
Yeah.
Probably the most casual of the restaurants you've been to. What'd you say?
Probably so.
For dinner, yeah. I think it was definitely the more casual space.
Right. So.
And also, RazzleDazzle originated as the more vegetarian or vegan forward restaurant. But they have like their naughty items, which are in red, which include meat. From what we've heard, they have changed their menu some since they first started, and they've added more meat options. So I was, a little excited to come here because it's the more vegan, vegetarian forward. I figured there'll be lots for me to eat, being that I'm dairy and egg free, and I also try to minimize almonds as well.
Right. So so we actually went there tonight. So you're getting this fresh off the press. So let's kind of get to it. As far as our starters, I had the avocado green goddess salad and the pork belly. Both were solid. The pork belly was good. It has a
flavor,
kind of what we have, like a bourbon maple glaze type sauce. So the pork belly was
kind of like that sweet, salty,
savory kind of thing. The green salad was good. The only thing I would have wished they had done, presentation was excellent, but they don't really put the dressing on the salad. They kind of just drizzle it slightly on the side of the plate. And I mean, I don't like to drench my salads in dressing, but I needed it a little bit more than that. So that was a little kind of a maybe slight bummer. Like, oh, okay, they could have gave me a little more there. But
and probably if it was pressing, you could have asked for more, and they,
right.
I'm sure they would have given it to you.
But it was a nice looking plate. And that's one thing I will say, just in general, from all the Virgin restaurants we've been at, is that they really try to do a good job of presenting their food in general. So, but again, the green goddess salad was good, and I said I had the pork belly.
Yes. Okay, so the starters, remember I said that RazzleDazzle made me sick? Well, it started with the starters, okay? Because I couldn't just choose one. I had to have two. So I had the fried green tomatoes and the okra, which was the vegan option. The reason I wanted to get this was because I love fried okra, but generally fried okra is battered in some type of buttermilk, so it's not dairy free. So when I saw that this was a vegan option, I said I want to try that. And then I was like, it's vegetables. Even though they're fried, they're vegetables. They're good for you, right? So it had a chili lime spice, and then like a fresh chili herb sauce. And it was good, y'all. It was fried, it was crispy. And I'm not even a fried green tomatoes girl, but it was good. I love the okra. It was the whole okra was fried. It wasn't like, typically with fried okra, like if you're from the United States, like southern fried okra, typically you cut it up in smaller pieces, the stalk, or is that called a stalk of okra? I don't know. Okra comes as like a long oblong shape. They fried the whole thing. And I have no complaints. It was seasoned well. It was fried well. I ate all of it. Problem number one. Then I decided, okay, I also wanted to try the Old Bay chicken wings. And the Old Bay chicken wings comes with, I think, peppercorn aioli sauce, but because they had egg in it, they gave me the garden ranch sauce to go with it. And that was the other thing. Once they get your dietary restrictions, very accommodating. They figured out like every dish, like, oh, we can bring you that. We just have to do this. And it was just, that's what I've loved about every restaurant on Virgin. There has been no issues with me avoiding dairy and eggs or minimizing it. And when I tell you those chicken wings were good, they were good. They were seasoned well. They were crispy. You had some. What did you think?
No, the wings were good. And I'm not, I'm not necessarily a wing connoisseur, but I like me a good chicken wing.
I think you're a wing connoisseur.
And they were tasty, not over seasoned.
Not over fried,
but good enough to where you didn't necessarily have to have the sauce. The ranch in this case,
the plant-based ranch,
to make it taste good. So it was solid, really solid.
But let me tell you about this plant-based ranch though. So like, since I've been trying to be dairy free, there are certain things that I miss a lot, and a good ranch sauce is one of them. And it's not really. There are some vegan ranch options out there. They're not the greatest. I've recently found a bottle of one that is decent. But when I tell you, this plant-based ranch was so good. Like, it did not taste like it was plant-based ranch. It would have been good just ranch sauce. And then when we dipped it in those Old Bay chicken wings, honey,
they were good.
That combination was on the poppin'. So you see, I'm already getting myself in trouble here. Got 2 starters. Now let's go to the main. Let's see what did you do, boo?
So for the main, got the salad, got the pork belly, and they had a couple of different options. So I went with the braised lamb shank and or slow cooked lamb shank, I should say, and a ribeye. I know. I got both of them anyway.
It's vacation, right?
YOLO. Google it if you don't know what that means. So, I'll start with the ribeye. Ribeye was solid. Not a bit of a spoiler alert, and you can go and you will hear my details about why. But if you've watched our Pink Agave video, you'll realize that I did get the ribeye there as well. And at the moment, I think that this ribeye is nip and tuck with that one in the pink agave, but I think I still might go with pink agave's ribeye option over RazzleDazzle. But it was much closer than I would have expected going in. Again, it was seasoned well. They had a crispy onion and string bean topping, and then a sweet potato mash underneath. I'm not the biggest crispy onion fan, so again, that's just me. So it's not an issue with how they prepared it. I'm not a big fan of that. But in any event, got rid of that. The string beans were good, and the sweet potato mash under it was really tasty. The meat, it was cooked medium. Again, I asked for medium, got medium, and I would say that's been a recurring theme overall. Is at least for the steaks and things that I've gotten over the course of our time here. For the most part, they've cooked them the way I've asked them to cook it. But it was tasty. It was real tasty. Definitely is nipping at the heels of the ribeye from Pink Agave. So if you happen to see both, if you've had both, put in the comments which one you liked better. If you've gotten both the ribeye from RazzleDazzle and Pink Agave. But let's move that to the side. That lamb shank, it was good.
It was
really good.
good.
It was tender. It was cooked well, seasoned well. They had
that sauce.
They had a red wine sauce that they drizzled it with as a finisher, and
it was like a tangy.
It was good. It probably was the best lamb dish that I've had on the boat, and I had 3. Now the one
you had 4, right?
3. So we had. And you'll hear about these in the videos, but there was a lamb dish that was part of our test kitchen menu. Then there were the lamb, the rack of lamb at the wake.
And didn't you have lamb at I can't talk. Pink Agave?
No.
No lamb there?
That was a ribeye. I don't believe that.
Did you have lamb at Extra Virgin?
I think this was the 3rd one.
Oh, okay. For some reason I thought it was your 4th lamb.
Yeah, and so of the 3, this might have been the best one. I think it's neck and neck with the lamb chops from the wake. And in different cuts of meat, you're talking about lamb shank versus lamb chops. They're cooked differently. This one was slow roasted, whereas lamb chop. So, but I mean, the point is that the fact that I'm fumbling around which one was better lets you know how good the RazzleDazzle option we had tonight was.
I think it was that sauce that put over the top, and it was so
the red wine
tender. It was so tender.
Yeah, I mean, fall off the bone tender in that way. So,
as you see, I tasted his. This is you're getting why RazzleDazzle made me sick. You're seeing how it tasted.
How it's played out.
Right?
So anyway, kudos to the chefs who put together the 2 meats. But again, like I said, if I had to pick one. In this instance, I probably would go with the lamb shank as far as the 2 mains that I had. I mean, it was really good. I would get it again if we happen to ever make it back to RazzleDazzle at some point. I would get that again.
So for me, I go to the main menu, and once again, I can't just choose one thing. So I'm tasting all his food, all his mains, which I can verify were good. But then I also got the Nashville hot cauliflower, which was the vegan option, and I got the mahi, the blackened mahi. So let's start the Nashville hot cauliflower. To me, I felt like that was just another starter. I know sometimes people think about that like it's been like a alternative to chicken, but it was fried so good, y'all. Like it was a lot of fried stuff, but they know how to fry in RazzleDazzle, okay? It was just crisp. The cauliflower was not soggy. That plant-based ranch dip again, banging. And then they had like some brined pickles and some onions on the side with some lettuce for garnish, and just putting all those flavors together, just really like the different textures, flavors, everything was top notch. A lot of times I found like those fried cauliflower can be like mushy.
Yeah.
But it was crisp. It was good. It was cooked all the way throughout. It was good, y'all. And that ranch, once again, I'm just excited to have ranch. It set it off.
Right.
And then the blackened mahi mahi. They had to do some modifications because it was supposed to come with a creamed
cream shard.
Yes. But they
Swiss
instead of
chard.
doing the cream Swiss chard, they just gave me the regular Swiss chard. And it also came with some polenta. So the polenta was good. It's very similar tasting to the polenta that I had in the wake. If you didn't watch the video, go watch. And the fish, the blackened mahi mahi, it was seasoned so well. It kind of had like a jerk Caribbean thing going. It was like a sweet, spicy. It was good. Like, I was so full, but I had to finish it because I could not waste that food on my plate. Like, I was about to bust, but I was like, Robin, you gotta push through and eat it. Now, did I stop there? No.
No,
I didn't.
Then ultimately you had dessert. And so we finished desserts with, I had the rum apple cake, which again was solid. It had like a brown sugar glaze. It came with cinnamon ice cream. And it was solid. One of probably the better desserts I had restaurant-wise. As far as the dessert options that the restaurants offered, it was good. It was really good. I definitely put that at the upper tier of those particular options as far as the desserts in the specialty restaurants. So it was good.
Now, at this point, y'all, I am about to bust. But one of my main things I have to do at all these restaurants is get the vegan dessert, because y'all don't understand how happy it makes me to be able to have a dessert that is not like fruit.
Yeah.
Each of these restaurants have had a different, very creative, very well thought out vegan dessert. I get the vegan dessert because I know it's dairy and egg free if it's vegan. So the vegan option this time was a chocolate cake. And it had candied almonds. It was supposed to come with candied almonds on top, but I asked them to remove those because I do try to minimize my almonds as well. That's another food sensitivity. And the presentation was beautiful. It came like wrapped in this, what was
kind of RazzleDazzle.
It was like a
canister.
RazzleDazzle canister. I thought it was like a peppermint bark or something, but it wasn't. It had kind of like a taste. What is it?
Like a white chocolate.
Kind of like a mild white chocolate, maybe. I don't know, but the chocolate cake was like a little small chocolate cake in the middle, but like it had like a little in the middle, some kind of soft cream in there, and then it had some Greek, some kind of yogurt, some vegan yogurt on the side with a couple of like fresh fruit. It had like a raspberry, a blackberry, and then it was just good. Like it, and I will admit, it doesn't take much for me to be hyped over a vegan dessert because I rarely get it. So somebody that's not vegan may like the chocolate cake is a little dense, but that's gonna be. That's usually what happens when it's a vegan dessert because you don't have that egg to make stuff fluffy. So the chocolate cake was a dense cake, but I still think if you're not vegan, you would enjoy it. It was just a lot of good flavors, like the chocolate cake with like the fruitiness, then the presentation with the wrapped white chocolate and the yogurt. It was just a lot of good flavors. I just really appreciate the thought and effort put into vegan desserts on this ship at every restaurant, because it's not just like, oh, let's just give them some fruit or let's give them I don't know. It's usually just something that they just put on the menu to check off we have a dairy-free option, but it has been, each restaurant so far has been different, very different, and all of them have been good. I have not had a bad vegan dessert, and that just does my heart good, y'all. It really does my heart good. So by this time, y'all, I am about to bust. I had to roll. You hear me? Roll out of that restaurant. My stomach was in pain from about to burst. I had to walk a couple of laps around our floor just to help that food digest. So RazzleDazzle made me sick because it was just too many good options on that menu. I could not dwindle it down, so I ate everything. Like, this was bad, y'all. It was bad, but it was so good. Bad. Right. It was so bad. It was good.
So, I think it was good. I mean, definitely, probably puts RazzleDazzle near the top of our list overall. And we'll when we do our last thing with Gun Bay, we'll then kind of give a ranking of how all 6 ranked. But at the moment,
RazzleDazzle was a sleeper. It's like
definitely
it was a sleeper. We were hating on RazzleDazzle, and we almost didn't go.
Yeah. So,
but I'm so glad that somebody insisted.
So if you're watching this, the time we're filming, this is actually the first day of the NCAA tournament. So it definitely was a sleeper that it was an upset.
It was an upset.
And so,
because I'll say, you gave your ranking. Let me give my little ranking. Right now, for me, RazzleDazzle is tied for second with Test Kitchen. Now, what I'll say was my food experience was probably just overall an options and stuff better at RazzleDazzle, but Test Kitchen gets points for the creativity and the environment. But it's right below Pink Agave right now. So, like I said, we'll give our final rankings after Gun Bay tomorrow. But RazzleDazzle was a sleeper. I would not mind going back. There were other things on that menu that I wanted, but I was like, Robin,
you can't eat it all.
You're doing too much. You're doing too much. I mean, it shut me down for the night, y'all. We thought we was gonna go to a show, listen to some music. No, right. RazzleDazzle shut me down.
Right.
Okay.
So we pushed through to make sure we got this video out while it's fresh, because this literally probably was about 2 hours ago. So you're getting it here live, hot off the grill. But yeah, so RazzleDazzle was surprisingly better than I expected, just to be honest. So, put in the comments your experience with RazzleDazzle, if you've ate there. What'd you think of it? And were you surprised at the end of your meal? Were you surprised how much you liked RazzleDazzle? If you did, we'd be curious to know, kind of what you thought it would be like, and when you left, how did you feel about it, positive or negative?
And if you're thinking about going on the Virgin Voyages, or you're planning to go, what are you looking forward to RazzleDazzle? Was that one of the restaurants that were on your radar? Or were you like us? Were you sleeping on RazzleDazzle and you're not sure about it? Let us know in the comments. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget to like and subscribe our videos. That's going to be really helpful for us. And just thank you for watching. I hope this video has helped you as you prepare for your own Virgin Voyages.
Right. So with that, again, Gun Bay's next, last one up, and then we'll give our final overall rankings of what we thought of the restaurant. So with that, appreciate you. Glad you made it to the end of the video, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace.